Hi all, Azure here, and welcome back to the channel for another discussion about Kingdom Hearts 4. Today we're going to be talking about young Xehanort, or I guess just Xehanort now, and what his role could be in Kingdom Hearts 4 going forward, as we had it revealed in June at the Nintendo Direct with the trailer given there. Still can't believe that happened, by the way, that Xehanort would have a role to play in Kingdom Hearts 4. But with that said, let's get started. First, we have to briefly discuss Xehanort's history to get an idea of how we even got here in the first place. In Dark Road, Xehanort has a discussion with Ericus after the events of the game take place, where they discuss their dreams and what they're going to do after the Mark of Mastery exam. Ericus's goals are very Ericus, keeping the light alive and such. But Xehanort's goals, on the other hand, are essentially the entire Kingdom Hearts story. He explains that he needs 13 lives if he is to rebuild the world, which of course would be his 13 Seekers of Darkness he would eventually get in Kingdom Hearts 3. However, he mentions that he would want a 14th life to explore the world that he would create when he summoned Kingdom Hearts and reset the world. Obviously, we know this wouldn't end up happening, as he's defeated by Sora, Donald and Goofy atop Scala at Kylum, with the heart of Ericus hiding inside Terra, appearing to usher Xehanort to hand the Keyblade over to Sora, and allow the next generation of Keyblade wielders to decide their own fates.
Enough. Checkmate.
Ericus and Xehanort would revert to their younger selves, turning into hearts and flying off to return to Kingdom Hearts, passing on. There is a wrinkle in this, however. Xehanort, much like Sora, has seemingly broken the nature taboos of the world and has been snatched up by Quadratum. There's evidence to suggest this, as he broke the laws of time by having multiple versions of himself in the same point in the timeline at once. It's also suggested through this line by Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind.
Seeing that you have also taken the forbidden path, you too must be ready to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Also taking the forbidden path makes it sound like Xehanort too is aware that he is breaking nature taboos and will pay the ultimate price, ending up in Quadratum. This does beg the question though. Sora was alive and broke a nature taboo and thus faded from existence. Xehanort died naturally, so how did he make it to Quadratum? Well, I have a potential explanation for this, but it's a bit of a stretch, so stick with me here. We know that Ansem, Seeker of Darkness travelled back in time as a heart to give young Xehanort the knowledge of time travel and what it is he's supposed to do, before returning to the time of Kingdom Hearts 1 and lying in wait for Sora and Riku. What if, before young Xehanort went to go grab Xemnas, Ansem, Vanitas and Dark Riku, he went backwards in time first, meeting his younger self at the end of Dark Road, but before he became fully tainted by darkness. We'll call this version Silver Eyes Xehanort for the time being, taking him as a vessel as well, his 14th vessel. He would then take Silver Eyes Xehanort forwards in time to roughly the time of Birth by Sleep after the final episode, but before Apprentice Xehanort would allow the world to fall to darkness, using the lifeboats hidden beneath Radiant Garden's castle to send the heart of Silver Eyes Xehanort through worlds this time. How the lifeboats were intended to be used, onwards to Quadratum, which Ansem, through his memories as Xehanort, would know about already, and thus would be able to give that knowledge to young Xehanort. You might then be thinking, how on earth does that work? How does he get to Quadratum? It's a brand new world, how would he reform? Well, there's a certain man already there that gives him exactly what he needs to reform. You see, with the lifeboats, you specifically need two things in order for you to fully reform without problems. First is a medium. You need something, an object that allows you to rebuild your body. As an example, for Maleficent, this was her cloak. Second is someone with memories of you, which the good fairies provided for Maleficent. What if I told you Xehanort already had both? His medium could be the no-name Keyblade, however, this does depend if Lucia has already finished the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 by this point, and the memories? Well, the Master of Masters of course. They met a year after the events of Dark Road. The Master knows Xehanort, his singularity. That only leaves the when. With the lifeboats, you can travel through worlds and through time, but you can't do both at the exact same time. For this, I have no idea. Quadratum runs on a different time axis to the Kingdom Hearts universe, so it's anyone's guess what time Xehanort arrives. He does look a little older than young Xehanort in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, so that could suggest some time has passed. He's definitely been here longer than Sora. But let's say he has no medium, but has a person with memories, just like Laurium, Elrena and Ventus, who all had no medium, but had Xehanort with memories of them as seen in Dark Road. How does Xehanort have a perfect recompletion? Easy. His old heart from Kingdom Hearts 3, now passing on but being taken by Quadratum for breaking the rules, has a perfect flesh and blood vessel for his older heart to occupy because the Silver Eyes variant is already here. It would just be a case of which heart takes over, or if it's simply a memory transfer so his younger self has all the knowledge of his older self. Alternatively, young Xehanort can just give Silver Eyes Xehanort all the information he needs to know, as normally, when you return to your original point in time, the memories you gained while time travelling would be erased. He technically wouldn't lose them here, because it's a one-way trip. Now let's talk about his role. I do believe that Xehanort is going to be an ally this time, to which capacity I think is unclear. However, I think he is definitely going to be something of a mentor to Sora, teaching him about Quadratum, potentially about controlling his inner darkness. But I for sure think that he is definitely going to teach him about Keyblade techniques. As we saw with the Kingdom Key gameplay, as well as in various cutscenes, Sora uses this chain-like whip with the Kingdom Key. This is something that we've seen young Xehanort do as part of his moveset, and it also looks remarkably similar to Sora's new moves. Another thing to talk about is the umbrella. Why the umbrella? Where's his Keyblade? I might potentially have an answer for that as well. At the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, we of course would learn in the ending and the epilogue that Xehanort not only relinquishes the Keyblade to Sora, but he also loses No Name, as it would return back to its rightful place with Lucio as his foreteller companions return. I think it could genuinely be a possibility that Xehanort no longer has a Keyblade. In this world beyond, why would he need one? The darkness follows the Keyblade wherever it goes, so this means he could live in peace in Quadratum, exploring the new world he sought for so long without the threat of darkness taking over. However, I have a potentially more interesting idea. With the advent of Keyblade wielders in Quadratum bringing the concept of darkness into this world with no concept of light or darkness, and defining it with a physical form, factions may have formed in order to combat not only this threat of darkness, but the threat of the Keyblade wielders that bring this darkness with them. This is where the likes of Azure would come in, who is the commander of one of these factions. If you're going to be a Keyblade wielder in this world, you can't be running around with it out all the time, no way. Instead, why not disguise it? Xehanort could very easily have disguised his new Keyblade after No Name as an umbrella, an inconspicuous everyday object that everyone in Tokyo would have. This could easily be done if this was done as a Keyblade transformation. That way he can conceal the Keyblade, but also bring it back out if he needs to. There is also the relation that water has to darkness, which I talked about in my Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer analysis video, which is something that Kingdom Hearts has always had, with the umbrella acting as a barrier against the darkness that the Keyblade wielders bring with them. This also fits with Xehanort as a character because, while he may have been evil and fueled by the power of darkness in his older age, it's clear that, at least in his youth, he treasured his friends. He loved Ericus a lot. It's very clear to see that even with them not seeing eye to eye on certain issues, it's clear that they were best friends. So much so that even despite their differences, Ericus still invited him to witness the Mark of Mastery exam between Terra and Aqua, and I think there's something beautiful in that. It could potentially be a case that Xehanort has realised he failed Ericus in their friendship, so now is trying to atone and amend his mistakes by helping Sora, because after all...
You make me think of an old friend.
There's also going to be a level of intrigue as well with Xehanort in relation to Strelitzia, as we know, through Dark Road, that Xehanort has memories of Strelitzia, however he didn't see her. He'll most certainly know of her through memories of the player's interactions with Laurium. To which extent he'll know about Strelitzia remains to be seen, but I think there's a good chance he'll be able to tell her about Laurium's time as Marluxia, which will be very interesting to see. Another potentially interesting thing to think about is this scene where the Master and Masters and Xehanort meet for their second time and the Master tells him his name. The inclusion of Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts 4 as potentially Sora's ally entirely reframes and recontextualizes his meeting with the Master, because now, as far as we know about our current set of allies being the Guardians of Light, Xehanort is the only character who knows about the Master of Masters' existence, and not only that, but his name too. So this will be an absolutely massive reveal that's going to rock the fanbase to its very core, and I cannot wait to see it. However, that will be all for today's discussion on Xehanort's role in Kingdom Hearts 4. I really can't wait to see more from Xehanort. It's going to be very interesting to see how Sora reacts to Xehanort's appearance, and if he's going to treat him as a reluctant friend or a foe straight away. Sora thought that fighting Xehanort was only for one story arc, man, but I'm sure we're definitely going to see more of Xehanort in future trailers, perhaps even at the upcoming D23. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Xehanort is finally going to be on Sora's side? Do you think he has a new Keyblade, or does he not have a Keyblade? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye for now, and
may your heart be your guiding key.